Hey guys, I'm Shadow from Shadows of the Woods, and this is a review! Seriously, I'm going to review Fallen by Lauren Kate, which I just finished yesterday, and I was quite excited to read this book. Unfortunately, it leaves me a little disappointed, confused, and split into two about this book. Well, first of all, this book is about Luz, who have seen shadows for her whole life. And she doesn't know what to make out of the shadows. They're scaring her and they're everywhere, and they're getting worse. So from time to time they're not there, and from time to time they're coming, and she always feels them before they come. So when she makes out with a guy called Trevor, and she kisses him or he kisses her, or whatever way you want to put it, he dies. Probably because of they kissed, because the shadows are killing him, when I understood this right. He's basically burning to death. Police and everyone is a little bit confused about this, and Luz is put in reform school. This reform school is called Sword and Cross, where she's meeting quite a few strange people. Many of them are declared mentally ill, and some of them are that worse that they have little bracelets who are tracking them everywhere. There are everywhere cameras, and well, yeah, it's a strange school. So from the first moment she sees him, she's fascinated by Daniel, but Daniel just flips her off. He doesn't want to have to do anything with her, and nobody knows why. Like, no reader knows why at the beginning. But Luz has a strange feeling that she's knowing him from somewhere. On the other side, there's Cam. Cam is a guy who's fascinated from the first moment on from Luz, and he's really nice. He talks to her, and well, he wants to be charming and things like that. And even though I know the end of the book, I have to say that I would rather stick with Cam than with Daniel, which is probably not the thing intended by Lauren Kate. But it's that way, I just like him better. Which is really strange. If you've read the book, you know it is really strange. So Luz makes friends with Ariane, but Ariane, I have no idea how to spell, how is pronounced his name. They're making friends, but when she sees that Ariane is friends with Gab, who is a girl Luz doesn't like so much because she saw her with Daniel, and misunderstood a lot of things. She's not that good with Ariane anymore, but they're still friends, but they don't have to do anything they don't have to, gosh, they're not making so many things together anymore. I got it. But she also makes friends with Pen, who is the daughter of the former head teacher of Sword and Cross, who passed away. Pen is the only one not declared mentally ill, and that's why she's allowed to help the teachers with files and documents and everything like that. So when the two of them get friends, and Luz tells Pen about everything, she helps her find some things or researching Daniel's backstory, Daniel's history, Daniel's family. But they're finding quite a few strange things, and Luz gets more and more the feeling that she knows him from somewhere. But every time she talks to him, he just turns off. He doesn't want to have to do anything with her. Cam, on the other hand, does want to have a lot to do with her. He's making her presents, he's taking her on a picnic, and he's taking her out of school after he and Daniel had a little fight over Luz. Like a real fight. At Sword and Cross there are quite a few strange things happening. There's another guy whose name is Todd, and when Luz and Pen are in the library to research Daniel's family, or to look for a book, one of Daniel's ancestors, probably ancestor, maybe ancestor, who knows, to find a book of Daniel's ancestors, the library lights up. It starts to burn, and there's a great fire, and Luz and Pan and Miss Sophia, who's the librarian there, is it that word? get out alive, and Todd also gets out alive, but afterwards he's dying from an accident. Quite a few strange things happening. That's just one of them. And every time there are again those shadows. But it gets better for Luz. It gets easier for Luz at the school. It's after a few weeks almost normal for her. And then she starts to understand things. She finds things out, which in my opinion the reader has already known or already make out 100 pages before Luz. That's not bad. That's in many books like that. But it was a little obvious in my opinion. You can see I'm not that great a fan of this book. I think that it was really good. The last 100 pages were amazing, but everything before that was kind of difficult to get into. It was not difficult to understand. It was just, it took really long. I'm sorry to say so. So I was really sucked into this world for the last 100 pages, but at the beginning I was like, okay, it's book number 1 of a new series, you have to get into it. But it left me kind of disappointed after every time I put that book away. When you take a look on my Goodreads shelf and see this book, you see that I took over a month for this book, which is not like me. I'm finishing books within a week normally, when I have the time to. I have to admit that this book didn't take me too long because of a lack of time. It took so long because of a lack of motivation to read it. When I reached the last 100 pages or 150 pages, around that, I didn't want to put it away. I really sat there and read the last part, finished. Before that I've just read 30 pages, 50 pages at one time. But the last 150 pages I read in once because they were great. And I'm definitely going to read the second book because I have to hope that it is continuing like the last 100 pages of this book. There unfortunately no half stars on Goodreads, so I gave it 3 stars because I didn't want to give it just 2. There are a lot of 1-star rating, and I'm trying to prevent 1-star ratings because they're mean in my opinion. I don't like 1-star ratings. So I gave it 3 stars. I gave it in fact 2.5 stars because the beginning was not so good, but the word building was okay. It was okay. It was also good. It was, yeah, this part was good at the first 300 pages, to get to know the relations between the characters who are already at Salt and Cross, and between the characters who are there and Luz who's coming in new. This was good. Also, I like Sword and Cross. It's a strange school. It's yeah, when you read it, it's you know what I mean. There is a cemetery on the school where the students are meeting from time to time, and the gym was a former church. It's quite a cool school in my opinion, and I'm really excited that there's going to be a movie because I hope they're getting the school. I hope they're getting the school. I'm excited about that movie, I have to say. So great were the relations between the characters, how well they were described, how well they were developing. Really great was the end, where Luz starts to get the things, that her mind works and starts to know the things she should have known like 100 pages earlier. But it was great. I did not like the end, like page 409. What happens before page 409? I think it's on page 407. I looked it up, don't worry, I don't know this book by heart. I have the thing. Page 409, it's the part where she is locked into the church. everybody who read the book know what happened before. And was like, no, this can't be true. But I don't want to spoil you. I just don't. I'm taking my anger to someone who read the book and talk to them about this little part of the book. Like I said, I gave this book 2.5 stars, which is not that bad. It's also not that good. It's exactly the half. It was okay, and I liked it. It was okay, the first part. I liked it, the last part. Well, there I liked it a lot, but the first part was so long and the last part was so short, and I really hope that book 2 is starting like book 1 ended. I don't have it here. I just need to order it because those are the books who need to be imported into Germany because they don't have them at stack here. Fallen by Lauren Kate is a book that puts me into two pieces. The one piece loves the book, the other piece doesn't love it so much. I recommend this book to all of you who love to see characters develop, but who really love to see the relations between characters develop. I also recommend it to you if you have, like me, the hope that the second book is going to be better. And when you don't have a problem with long word building and afterwards throwing this whole word over in the bin, like plot twist. I do not recommend to you if you want to have a book which is from the first page on gripping and absolutely awesome. Because it gets awesome at the end, but not at the beginning. I'm sorry to say so, but it's that way. I myself wouldn't read it a second time. There are books I would read a second time, but this is not one of them. But I enjoyed reading it, and I will read the second book, and afterwards I will look how it is developing, and maybe I read this third book or not. It's 6 books by now. Like the last one came out, I guess last year, at the end of last year. That's my recommendation for you. If you love character developing and relation developing and books that get better from page to page and are awesome at the end, I recommend it. If you want a book which is gripping and awesome from the first page, I don't recommend it. I'm sorry to say so. I like this book and I didn't like this book, and I want to be honest with you. Because if I'm sitting here like, yeah, this book was good, it was so great, you would declare me for crazy because you would know that I didn't mean it like that. So I'm honest with you. It was a book which was good at the end, not good at the beginning. 2.5 stars, which is not that bad. I'm going to read the second book. Then I'm going to tell you what I thought about the second book and what I think this series will turn out. And I hope it will not be like House of Night. I've stopped House of Night after book 8. Like I have the next book here, but I haven't read it until now, which is like 4 years, because it just got boring. And I hope this is not like this. Otherwise I would be really disappointed, because it was a book I wanted to read for a long time and I finally read it, and it leaves me confused, disappointed and also excited. Fallen by Lauren Kate. Thank you for watching, guys. What is your opinion on Fallen and Fallen series? I want to know what you think about it. I want to know if I'm the only one thinking on this book and the series. Like, I've only read the first book, but on the series. If I'm the only one thinking on it like this. Tell me your opinions, your experiences with the series, with the book, with book number 1 especially. I would love to discuss it with you. I'd love to discuss with you. Don't forget to enjoy your life and we'll see you in the next video. Like. Oh, gripping. How could I not notice?